Okay, I'm Chinmayee and I'm a co-founder of House of Funky Town, where we teach you why clo3d is the best option for taking your brand online and for boutique to next step of if you want to go digital and start providing your services online. How is that this software is going to be the best of investment that you would make? If you want to learn how to make the pattern from scratch, that also can be taught to you. But let's get real. It really doesn't matter if you're going to do it from scratch or you have the perfect working system, and we teach you how to use this perfect system and take your business online within 45 days. So, wherever it's required, I'm going to fast forward it because I do not want to waste your time. And when you're taking classes and training, don't worry, it will be taught to you very slowly. This is just for you to understand business point of view. Like, I have to explain to you how this is useful without taking too much time and without boring you. So that's the point. So why there is only one half side? Because obviously when we do draping or pattern making, it's usually on the half side it is done, and then on the fold the fabrics are cut. Since we are doing designing, let's start and do symmetric patterns. So how are we going to know which one to do, which one not to do? Can you see it says cut one? So don't do symmetric pattern. It is only on one side, side back. It says cut two. So whichever says cut two, you're going to do symmetric pattern. So that's that simple. And let's get to that. So side front, symmetric pattern. I'm just converting all the patterns into two patterns now. That's it, nothing else. So this is done. What are we making? We are making gold gown. And how are we going to use gold gown or clo3d into our business? So let's just wait. Mhm. So this is side, center. It looks pretty easy, but yes, usually it takes around 15 days for you to get the grasp of the software. And then obviously it gets very simple because clo3d is very, very easy. Some people just make it too complicated, but trust me, who's been in this industry for 7 years now, I can tell you, clo3d, you can pick it up within 30 days with perfection. Okay, so we are here. This strap, this is the easiest way. We are going to turn it at the neck, not at the hand, but the neck. Why? Because to get the perfect curvature, that's it, nothing else. And then let us shift it, and then let's just take it back. Give it a minute. Okay, so we are almost ready. So where to stitch the straps, you will be marked, since we would be providing you the perfect printable patterns. We would be giving you the marking points. And for people who want to work more hard and want to do it perfectly and they want to learn it themselves, like I already said, perfect patterns also will be taught how to make the perfect patterns as well. Okay, so let's start stitching. So about clo3d, how we cut the fabric and stitch everything. The computer does that for us now. That is the main reason clo3d is being adapted everywhere in the fashion field. Around 70% of all the industry is already shifted. Hardly few of the kind of, manufacturings are left behind, which obviously is going to pick it up very quickly. So we are almost done. Let's Why I'm only stitching that much? Because with clo3d, few of the hacks you need to know is never do double, triple stitches. It gives you creases. So avoid those things. So let's just take this and drag it down. The main reason clo3d is picking up so drastically is because of something called digital sampling. Okay, so you would actually digitalize your fabrics. Once it's digitalized, you will only start stitching once you receive the order. Product testing is also something being done in a lot of factories that I help manufacturing do that. What that is you are going to create digital garments and put it into production only after you receive orders. Like in on the website, you will put digital garments only, but very realistic rendering. I'm not talking about the funny looking avatars which uh, random people are doing on and using Clo for that. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones which is very professional and very realistic because you cannot actually make so much of difference between Clo garments and virtual and digital garments and everything. So let's simulate. So the thing here to remember is whatever we do in Clo, it actually converts the pattern into direct fabric. Why that is useful? Because every fabric has its own GSM. What it is your fabric has some weight. Due to that, the flow of the garment depends on the weight of the fabric. Okay, like while cotton, chiffon, silk, all of them come with their own properties. And Flow has advanced technology where changing the fabric, it will show you exactly how the fabric is going to even sit on your customer. Okay, so this is a god gown or a mermaid gown that is famous in India. They call this mermaid gown, sort of. Okay, so we finished stitching. To understand how good the patterns are, you have something called fit map. Can you see it says 00? It is still in simulation, as you see, because our patterns are always perfect. So it is going to fit you exactly. If you print this for a size 0%, you are going to make sure that this is exactly how it looks, even when stitched. Okay, so let's get back to the clo3d now. So since my garment is ready, what's the next step? We will have lot of fabrics or even the fabrics provided by our customers. We have to digitalize that, which would be taught to you even in the training, even in the classes also. Now, let's talk about what fabrics I have and what fabrics I can use. Let me come back to my items and let me take any of the silk fabric. I think something nice only. Let's just select. I think this is cotton. I think it's not silk. Let me check. Lace. Hmm. Yeah, this is one of the silk which is pretty. So I think we can use that. It's Odisha silk, which will be a little tough, like taffeta, which will have a stiffness. and even hardness for the fabric. It's okay. So let's say I chose a fabric. I'm going to obviously select it and simulation on. What did it do? It actually did change the way it sits on my client now. Why? Because, like I already told you, every fabric has its own properties, and this is going to matter. Okay, so this is the gown. Let me make it thick texture so that the black part is avoided. Why that comes is like how we have wrong side and right side of the fabric. This also has. Does it really matter so much? So, okay, when we are doing double shades or like even the trending ones, you can wear it inside out and outside in those kind of garments. Yeah, for that it would be useful. Or else it's really not that much of a big deal. So yeah, I like this. However, it is sitting on my client. Okay. Now it is showing it is way up. Oh, obviously, it's in the ankle length. If it is only for viewing purpose, okay, I have to be correct here. If we are doing only for the viewing purpose, yes, there is a very simple way we can change it. That is through transform tool. You can just increase it off by dragging it. Okay, but I wouldn't advise it so much because it doesn't take well when you print it. It does give a little bit of problem. So this is one way. The second way is obviously by making sure you give equivalent outlines. Okay, offset as pattern outline was actually designed for something else, but I like to use this for increasing the patterns. As simple as that. Okay, so let me increase the pattern 4 inches. I'm increasing because I want it on the floor. Uh, that was by miss. So yeah, offset as pattern outline. Okay, and offset as pattern outline. Okay. Now you have to know that the stitching doesn't get directly changed, auto change. You will have to drag it. Be careful, don't drag it too much. So, yes, now here, let me move it a little. And now here, this also, I need to bring it down. I need to bring this down. I am so sorry about the disturbance. Messages. I'm always working 24/7. So, okay. So, this is, okay. Like I already said, silk has very, very thick texture here. So, that is the reason it is just flying around everywhere. Okay. So, this is how you increase the height. So, next, what you will do is you will take your client on the call. Like wherever they are, you're going to take a Google Meet. You will keep their fabric ready. Even if it has borders, if it has laces, everything can be done. But we do not have so much of time to cover everything in one demo. That is the reason I am keeping it short like this. But obviously, it is pretty simple. Like, let's say offset 4 inches, whatever the borders we did. As you see, you are getting a line here. Okay, a line here. You will just do cut and sew. Okay, like this. What happened? It became a different panel. So what you will do next, you will add lace if you want to. I'm not saying this is the lace. I'm just giving just an example for it. the lace has been added. That's how it works. Okay. So let me change it back. Next, let's talk about if the customer comes online and says, okay, I don't like the back so up, I want it down. If in case you would have stitched this, that would not be possible. Editing of neck is the most difficult part, but here it is the easiest thing. So I'm giving it almost 8 inches down. Okay, that is because of the pattern kept too close, nothing else. We'll just move it a little apart and we can continue back again. Okay, so let's come back here. Take the dot. Uh, the cross that you see here, it's for the zips because when we do the inseam zip, a little bit of triangle we usually trim. But in our patterns, it comes with the trimmed one. Okay, so it would get easier. That's the reason. But for the viewing purpose, let me just delete that. Okay, so let's just bring the neck down and I will bring it down to 8 inches. Okay, once you bring it to 8 inches, the fabric starts obviously moving. See, we have so much of baggy, like fabric is a lot now. We can edit it. So, whatever changes we make, how it is going to affect the fabric, how the customer is going to, how the fitting of the customer affects, everything will be viewed already. Okay. Now you will be thinking, okay, this is a size zero model. What if she is an average Indian body shape? What about that time? So once we are done with this, then I will go to that part. So see, avatar editor. Let's say we have a customer of whatever height. Let's give it feet and inches. 5'9" not possible, yeah, guys. Indian girls are not that tall. 5'5" is the maximum height people are, or five like average height I'm talking about. 5'7" is the highest. Those are Punjabi girls, most probably. 5'5", I'm going to bring her down. And let's talk about weight wise. What I have observed when it comes to fitting and accuracy and everything, I've seen that weight wise is the best way we can do it. 67 kgs, let's say. Can you see? Automatically she changed her body shape, correct? So 38, everything, 44. Now we can even edit single-handedly. Like, let's say only one, you want to give only her a stomach that she has high, extreme stomach bulge, that pregnancy weight is put on, or even upper stomach is there, waist, where she's put on the belly fat there. Everything can be changed, like 33. See, this is the shape she will be. Why I've done this is, this is an average body type, like normal standard body shape. What we are going to do now is, there is an amazing hack. Okay, so let me show you. When I select and do auto fit, what the software does is it calculates the pattern and the body shape, and it will make the adjustments for you however it's required. Okay, so let's do simulation on. See, now this is change the pattern where it's required and given you this. Now let's say I don't like it here. Um, for people with only this much of stomach here, what we usually do is take the seam a little bit higher and release the fabric here, because we want to hide the bulge. Okay, so let me show you with what that I mean is. This is only for designing. This is not to edit the pattern perfectly. That's a different technique. I'm going to reduce around 2 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to simulation on. What this does now, see, can you see, it will look better on her body shape. Left is better than right, because you will have to make sure Wherever the customer's bulge is, about 2 inches from there is where your seam has to start, and end it in a way where the fabric is not too much figure hugging there. Okay, you have to give a little bit of ease. So let's give a little bit of ease. So let's do it 1 inch here and 1 inch here, and simulation on. What it does, it will give a easement. So in what body shape, what all editing has to be done, it will be taught to you. If in case it's something you want, it is not a compulsion that we know the best. No, nothing like that. Okay, so we have a customer and a body shape ready. Okay, now let's talk about fit check. Fit map, it's going to show lot of editing issues. Why? Because we will have to calculate her size, calculate her patterns, her body shape, everything. It shows so much of 6 points for even 4 inches. Overall, 4 inches also, this will show much. Okay. Once we are aware that this is the issue, you are going to start actually giving easement. Okay. Easement is something is around 4 inches. I've given 4 inches for her. Now let me show you fit map. See, it's better. Her chest is looking way better now. Once everything is edited, all this will go away. Let me get to the point. It's already 22 minutes, but we need to give a little bit more easement. Can we give easement without increasing the flares? Yes, we can. 100% we can. Even here, it's still tight. You can make out very easily. So in case, let's say I want to increase only the waist and hips, what I will do is I will only increase here around a inch from here as well. 1.5 inches I have done. Okay, 1.5 inches. So the same thing goes to this as well. So when you're doing this, let's say you don't want to really spend too much time changing the dot. Like, can I do it without being too particular with the dot? Yes, of course you can. What you will do is right click, change length. You're going to do equally. Okay, both the side, and you're going to say it is 6, right? So let's give around 9. No, 6, 7, 8. 8 is enough. 8.2. What it does is it's increasing itself. So this is one more way with where you can easily increase the width of the garment. So change length again, both the sides equally, and we are going to say 5.4. I'm increasing only 2 inches everywhere. That's it. That's the point here, what I'm trying to do. Why? Just to increase the overall losing. And that's the reason. Change the length 3.3. So let's make it 5.3. That was my miss. I did not do it both the sides, I think. 5.3. Better. Okay. So now let's do simulation on. What it does is it will give you easement. Yes, we will have to obviously calculate how the shape we want to achieve and everything. Once we are happy with the shape, now here I would say, obviously, to decrease this pattern. See, this much is getting too much for it. So I will decrease somewhere around zero point 0.8. It will be better. Even in the back, I want to decrease that same thing, zero point 0.5. Simulation on. See, it gets better. So all these things, when you're doing it, you are going to take some time to figure out how well and what are the things and what is the best shape it's required for her. If in case we have to change the guard gown only, the same fabric, but you want to make it a tulle garment or a three panel, seven panel gowns, completely upon the customer and mindset, you can keep changing. But it gives you a complete hands-on control to see how the garment is going to look, and then you can even decide whether to go ahead with this design or not, which is a game changer as far as I, being a designer, I feel it is. Now let's say, um yeah, it's kind of nice. Let's check in fitment. See, it says tight here, but here and all is better. Okay, it's come down to hardly 5 or 3.8%, which is on the top part here. So you're going to again follow the same thing. It is 4. The best way I tell students to make sure they do it right is calculate. Genuinely calculate what is her waist round and what is the amount that is coming. Like, let's hide the garment right now. Okay. So there is, it's tight here, correct? This is not still allowing me to click it on that. So let's hide it off from here only. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's all right. Let's take a tape and just go around the body. 15, 29, somewhere around 37, I think. Yes. Okay, somewhere around 37, 38 it will be. So you're going to calculate about every pattern, like what is the width of the pattern, and then you're going to divide it equally. It's usually, see, it's one, two, three panel, and four, five, six, seven panel, correct? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven panels. So divide it equally and then calculate where is the mistake and just increase the width of the panels. Then you will reach the perfect fit of the customer. Now let's say, okay, my patterns are ready. If you already know how to make these patterns yourself and you have a pattern master, then you will not have any issue, because this is basically to show your customer how the garment is going to look, and how it's going to finish. Like, let's say you are charging a gown around 8,000, 10,000, 80,000, 1 lakh. You have to be very accurate with what you're telling the customer and showing the customer and how you can achieve that. That is where people are ready to pay you enough money, because they think there is some use in this. They, okay, she is good, she is giving me the accurate fit, she's doing something good. The perfection matters. Okay, and then once you cut it and then you struggle what to do, no, that whole issue about where people are struggling, once they make it, then they struggle and their fitting issue comes, and then they are not able to give enough fabric, so they will just cut this off and make it into a tying garment. All these issues are avoided. Even if you want to see how this is going to look as a let's say corset, okay, it will even show you exactly how well this is going to finish up as a corset also. You can The sky is a limit, to be honest, for this software. See, corset is ready. And let's say center panels are usually not something corset is given, but let's say you want to add a strength there, then you are going to take and add a strength there. That's it. And understand where the fabric's flow will matter. And then see the fabric stiffness. That stiffness came there now. Or else the fabric would drop down. Where the fabric is going to drop, where the fabric is going to sit properly. Everything can be easily predetermined before even cutting the fabric. Okay, and that is an amazing uh, it's an amazing hack for designers everywhere. So this is what it is. Now let's say you are going to print these patterns. All I have to tell you is first and foremost make it into white, because we don't need to get the print out unless you're going for DTG printing, direct to garment printing, where the fill rolls will directly print out the panels with the print. Okay, that's that. Or else you can go for two other major sources. One is your CAD printer. Okay, CAD printers. It is going to allow like lay exactly like this. It can even you can even go up to laser or projector printings are in trend right now, where you are going to mark exactly how much width your table overall table is, and then you are going to start placing and moving the pattern wherever it's required. See, wherever it's needed, it's going to show red where because it is going to tell you it is touching it. This is going to overlap. That is the reason it is showing all those things. So all these things will be covered for people who want to start their own boutique or take it to the next level, and brands who want to go completely digital. This is the next step is for them. Boutique owners also can go ahead for this type, what I'm going to tell you now, but somehow boutique owners have uh, a little bit more, I don't know, really that hesitant nature is there in boutique owners for this part. That is converting this only into digital garment. How that you will do is, can you see this is a garment now? Okay, I'm going to switch on the graphics. This is also taught to you in the course only. Let's get down to the settings. Why uh, some of the clo3d garments come very funny and animation is because they are not good at doing correct what do you say settings. Okay, so the settings matters the most. You have to understand that that's the best part. Pixels are really really important. Start with 3000 by 3000, because the better the quality, it is going to be really good. When you zoom in, that fabric texture also will be seen. Okay, so that's very very important. Lighting for every garment it's different. So since this is silk, let me take slide 6 and let's get to this. Okay, so let's do interactive rendering. This is what interactive rendering, because we start with interactive rendering, we don't know what angles it's going to look good and how it's going to look, where what you have to do, all those things can be seen here. So let me go back to the schematics. Let it be somewhere else. Mhm. Okay. So this is looking like this because there is a lot more settings and editings that has to be done before we get to the final work. Okay. So this is too stiff. We are going to obviously adjust the particle distance, which will be 20 and it has to be somewhere around 5. Start with 5 and then see how well it goes. So this is for digital garments. What this will help you is you're going to put directly to the customer or the website and then decide whether or not you are getting orders on this. Then you can start thinking about designing and putting your label to this and marketing money to this. All those things you can think about it. Embroidery, digital prints, all kind of things is possible in this. It is not only subjected to only the silk fabric. Okay, so this is how it is looking because it's probably somewhere gathers are too much and we have to edit it. So this is how a real garment is made. Digital garments are made. This is just 1% of the work. It usually takes around 2 hours to make a perfect digital garment. Okay, so this is the clo3d for boutique and brand owners. This is just a demo to show you very, very basic, small information how much we can give inside 40 minutes. I've tried. Obviously, everything cannot be covered in 45 minutes. Really impossible. Thank you.